What's up everyone, Vu of Envu Films back with another video, and today I'm selling my Sony A7R3. And look, I know that thumbnail and that title is clickbaity as shit, and I know this. I figure I would try doing a super clickbaity, tube douchey type of thumbnail because hey, seems like it works for some people, and I'm trying to get ahead. All right, I'm trying to get those views and subs on my channel. With that being said, please like and subscribe to the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. I'm over here struggling, can't pay my bills. I need to feed my family, so I'm selling my camera. And it'll, be greatly appreciated if you did that to support me. I'm obviously joking. I'm doing fine. I'm selling my A7R3 for a completely different reason than being poor. And I guess that was kind of insensitive of me for making fun of being poor, because there's obviously a lot of people struggling out there, and I probably shouldn't have made that joke. I should probably cut that from this video. But come on, if you're so sensitive and insecure to take that joke, maybe you shouldn't subscribe to this channel, because I say some crazy stuff on here. Gosh, I suddenly, just started getting like this. I'm about to go on a tangent because I am really tired of people just destroying humor and comedy in general. Like, people need to understand when something is a joke and when something is serious. And obviously, the world we're in right now, obviously, at least here in the United States, like, things are kind of a bit wild in that regard. And look, some of you don't know this, but I am left-leaning, okay? I am from the Washington, D.C. area. It's very liberal around here. I grew up in this very liberal and diverse area, so a lot of those liberal ideals are passed on to me. And hey, I don't like getting into politics, but I'm definitely left-leaning. But I'm telling you right now, I am slowly creeping over to the right because of this leftist wildness. Just being honest, we need balance in this world. You can't be so far left and you can't be so far right. And I feel like the far left is gaining way too much power, and it's kind of annoying. And great, now because I said that, the members of the LGBTQ community is going to try to cancel my channel, even though I have nothing against them and what they do in their personal life. To be honest, life is all about what we feel and the choices we make based on what we feel, okay? If we feel like doing that kind of stuff, whatever it is, and, we want to make a choice to do it, go ahead. You know what I mean? If you feel, and we'll deal with the consequences with it. If you feel like eating Indian food today instead of just standard American bland trash food, and you make a choice to go eat Indian food, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. You might end up being very explosive in the bathroom. Something you got to deal with. If you feel like you want to switch from Sony to Canon because you feel like you can't color grade, then you could go make that choice and go switch over to Canon and be a piece of trash. Whatever you want to do in your life. And in my case, what I felt like doing was sell my A7R3 because I feel like the A7 IV I replaced it with is better for video, which is what I primarily do for a living, video. And I do some corporate photography. And some of you megapixel D-bag trash is going to tell me, well, you're going to need that 42 megapixels for that corporate photography, which I also do. And I'll also tell you that 33 megapixels is more than enough for corporate photography, and the A7 IV serves me well in that regard. And it has 10-bit 4K full frame, 4K 60 in crop, 1080p in crop mode that looks like 4K. So I have a lot of different options on how to use my A7 IV for my needs. It will be my C cam behind my two beast mode A7S IIIs. With that being said, I have a very special place in my heart for my Sony a7R III, which is why I've been making this video in the first place. It is a very special camera because it was the first camera, but I bought it at launch, and I had a Sony a6500 and a7S II at the time. And I love my a6500 because of autofocus, but it wasn't full frame, and the a7S II gave me that nice D-bag full frame bokeh. And of course, that autofocus sucked ass because it was just contrast detect, and it didn't do any tracking. So the a7R III was the first camera to do tracking on a Sony body, other than, you know, APS-C camera. So it was the first full frame camera that did fast autofocus tracking continuously. And, you know, a lot of people give a lot of credit to the a7 III for, you know, doing all that. The a7R III came out before the a7 III. And so I started filming on the a7R III, you know, full frame. I use, you know, 1080p 60 autofocus tracking, and it's fantastic. And it was fantastic. And I still used it up until I got the a7 IV as my C cam for the weddings I shoot. And I was easily able to match, you know, for the most part, 90% of the way, the Sony a7S III colors in S-LUT 3 to the HLG3 from the a7R III. So I've had it since it was launched, I think like in 2017 or something like that. And it served me well. I only have like a little bit over 12,000 shutter actuations on the camera, and today I'm about to meet up with someone to sell it via Facebook Marketplace. Much better than eBay or anything else for that matter, because you got to pay like fees when you sell it, all this trash they're trying to take advantage of you for, when you could easily meet up with someone locally, and you know, you both could probably get a good deal out of a used a7R III, a used camera or anything. But yeah, let's currently driving right now to the location to meet up this person. Don't know if this person wants to be on the video or not. I'll see, but we'll see what happens with the transaction. So, if you cannot tell, yesterday's vlog was a complete fail. Today's a new day, wearing your different clothes. Yeah, I ended up selling the a7R III, no problem. And about to go ship out some additional stuff that I sold. Tamron 1728, gone. Tamron 2875, gone. As you can probably see, I have a love-hate relationship with zoom lenses. Like, I always think I need to have them in my kit, you know what I mean, just in case I need versatility, things of that nature. But then I always end up shooting on my primes. You know, even when I travel with the family, I always bring primes. Essentially, I'm replacing all of these zoom lenses with cheapo prime lenses. So I have really expensive ones. I have 14, 24, 35, 50 G Master lens. Then the 85 is a Sigma DGD, and DN stands for D's Nuts lens. And then I have a 135 GM lens. So the only zoom lenses I'm keeping right now is my 35 to 150 Tamron f2 2.8, because that's just a unicorn lens. There's no other lens like it, and I think it's great when I need to have versatility. So I'm keeping that, and of course I have my 70 to 180 Tamron for like the wedding telephoto. But a lot of you know I have another YouTube channel where I'm trying to film myself doing just daily life stuff with my truck, and a lot of it's going to have to do with outdoors, going fishing, you know, things like doing other than this filmmaking stuff. So, you know, at first I thought about using these zooms to film that. But then I realized like it's not gonna get me the look that I want. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of composition shots, sitting, standing there fishing, a lot of just nice, composed, cinematic type shots. And the primes aren't gonna do that. And the zooms aren't gonna do that. I need prime lens, nice fast aperture, nice depth of field at varying depths. So like zoom lenses at f2.8 will get you nice depth of field if you're close to the subject. But like medium shots, wider shots, I still want subject separation. So, you're gonna need like f1.8 or something at least. But at the same time, I don't want to like be taking my $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 GM lenses out to like the river, out to the lake, out on a kayak, where I could risk damaging it, getting it all jacked up. So what's going to happen is I had to get a set of good prime lenses that I don't mind getting wrecked, and then that's not going to affect me if I need to go film a wedding on the weekend. So I'm invested in some cheapo Samyang prime lenses, and by any cheapo I'm talking about price. They aren't as weather sealed and stuff like that, but the image quality is gonna look great. And they have some like imperfections to them. They're not like as clinical as GM lenses. They have very, I don't want to use this word, but character. So I was able to land 18mm f2.8 I'm used for vlogging. Samyang 24 f1.8 wide angle lens, which I'm actually using right now, and a 45mm f1.8, which is very tiny. And I'm gonna be using that on my like fishing trips, doing outdoor stuff, traveling, because they're so tiny and they're so light. And I know that if I damage them, ruin them, it's really not the end of the world, considering the 18 and the 45 are like $250 each, and this 24 is like $350. So yeah, I think they're, and they're like just light. Like, although this 24 f1.8 isn't going to be as good as the G Master overall image quality, bokeh, all this like Dustin Abbott type of specs. However, it is just light. It is very light compared to the GM. And of course, GM and 30, all of my main GM glass is going to be with me for like professional shoots. This is just for stuff like this. Just good image quality, easy to carry. And the same thing, I'm using my A7 IV right now instead of A7S III, because if I damage the A7 IV, I'm not gonna cry about it. And I know it sounds kind of crazy because a lot of you guys probably have A7 IVs for main camera. I do this stuff professionally, guys. They're all like investments into my job, my business, my craft, this channel. So yeah, my two other A7S3s has to be kept in good shape, because if they break, I'm screwed. A7 IV I could replace easily, quickly. It's in stock. A7S3 is out of stock everywhere, back order, etc. Anyways, I'm about to turn into this post office, ship out these things. It's a very random video, kind of clickbaity, but hey, like I said earlier, gotta do what I gotta do to grow the channel. And with that being said, please like the video, subscribe to the channel when you get the chance. Subscribe to the channel, and till next time, lighten up. Hey man, what lens you have? Bro, I've had all kinds of lenses. Sony, Tamron, Sigma, Samyang, Viltrox. Oh my god, you have third-party lens? You need to have only first-party lens. Nah, man, third-party lens is actually quite good.
No, man, the first-party lens is much better. Canon, Sony G Master, it's the best.
Bro, honestly, most people can't even tell the image quality difference.
Let me show you.
Bro, those two shots look as identical as you and I.
If that's the case, I am the G Master. You are the Viltrock Trash.